Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to everyone, and above all, our regular attendees. Uh, as usual, today is weekend. Perfect time for our weekly market review. Perfect time where we reflect, and also we started preparing for what is coming up next, right? I believe most of you guys are not new, but some, for the new ones, this is weekly market review that we do. We do it every weekend on Sunday before the market open, right? We do it to reflect on what we have done the previous week and to have a glance of the week we are going to start. Okay, officially we are going to start 2026 February this week. Now I know this is not what the official calendar shows, but I believe, like I said, I always to remind you, I always like to say it, our calendar is different from the regular calendar, right? And I believe I have recorded video on how we analyze our calendar, how we analyze our quarter, how we break down our week, including our sessions and timings on everything. So if you are watching this video for the first time, you have one outstanding video left for you to watch, which is how we analyze the calendar and how we look at the quarters, right? Very well. So in today's call, we are going to review week 4. That is the previous week that passed, and then week 1, which is going to start 8th February 2026. I mean, I don't know why this is the first time that I'm showing this 2026. Yes. Okay. So yes, instructor FX Igwe, aka Stalking the Dealer. Okay. So a quick one, let's have a snapshot before we exhaust our time, because this weekly call is limited time. I don't do it in full. I don't break everything full, but a glance, an idea of what is happening and what we are anticipating. Okay, we are not going to make it very very how do I call it? We're not going to make it very long or uh, attach so many unwanted information inside, but rather what is needed. Okay. So, but if you want a full course, everything that you want, then you need to enroll into a mentorship. We don't do mentorship here. This is not a mentorship video. This is a pure review. This is a pure snapshot. This is a pure, glance of what we are doing with the community. Those that stay in check, those uh, that are always active with the community, right? So, market snapshot. Okay, I believe uh, last week you guys have seen what we have done. Now, last week make it a full month, complete month without a recording of loss. All right. With last week business, it makes it a complete month without getting any loss. Doing two to three, I mean, 2 to 3 trades per week, and we are done. Okay. So this is where we started last week. If you guys can recall. Yes, this is it. This was it. Okay. This was the first projection. And what do we see? We have everything broken down. Then I share the entry with you guys. I share everything with you guys, and boom, we got this, right? Very well. So now we plan on trading purely crosses this previous week, right? Now what happened? This is US 30 pair. And why do we trade this US 30 pair? Well, like you all know, we don't just jump into trade. We don't just randomly select a pair, but rather we always use what is on the table for us. Well, we prefer the coming week that we are going to trade only crosses. Now we use almost 2 to 3 days hunting these setups or framing, watching the market, doing what it is needed to be done to give us our own daily bread. And midweek we got everything switched up. Now we expect this, then we saw that. So which is why this pair is a best fit for what we have seen on the table. Okay. Which is why I just switch to trade the indices. Now there is a reason why I used to do this, but I will not share it on this recording. But you guys just need to keep up on how we select pairs and how we do uh, our markups and entries and everything. Okay. Right. So Prosper, we don't have any opportunity that present last week. I was watching almost every pair crosses. If you do the fractional disparity on the majors, the 5 majors, all their crosses are under my watch. I watched them throughout the week, and I promise you, we did not got what we wanted, but rather we have perfect, perfect setups, perfect condition on the indices, which is why I switched to trading it. And among the indices, it's only US 30 that gives us what we need, right? Very good. So now that's the overview from last week. I'm going to spend another time before I give you the pairs that we are going to look at going into this week. Okay, but I will have to pause the sharing with this video, with this PC, and share it with the other PC so that we can see the pure projections of what is happening and what has happened. Okay, very well. Have we seen any major news the previous week? No. Why? Because like I told you, it was our week 4, and mostly week 4 we don't have major news. Okay, let's look at the events quickly before I started sharing the other setups and the markups. So coming on this week, we are going to see absolutely crazy volatility in the market. Now, what do I mean by that? If you look at the red folder news that we have here, almost GBP, everywhere is GBP and USD. And these are our major peers that we look at, even even without volatility, these are our peers. So now we are looking to have this on Tuesday. On Monday, there is absolutely nothing. On Tuesday, we have core retail sales. That is 8:30 New York time, 2:30 West African time, right? On Wednesday, we also have unemployment rate, non-farm employment exchange and change, which is also very, very impactful in the market. Okay. Now, on Thursday, on Thursday, UC. On Friday, CPI. So this week is going to be kind of boom and bust week. If you guys are willing to do uh, any unwanted or any unacceptable risk, you guys should watch it. For those of you trading news, risk what you can afford to lose and do what your mental health can take. Okay? Because there's so many red folder, and these are going to be very impactful in the market because of the week that we are coming out from and the week we are heading to. All right. So this is it. And like I said, this is where we are on our calendar. You see, this is our week one. This is going to be our week one, not this. This is going to be our week one, week two, week three, and week four. Okay, very well. Okay, we have just seen the key fundamentals. Now, peers to focus going into next week. These are what we are going to be looking at. Okay, these are what you are going to be looking at. Okay, Mm. We have the metals. I will be looking at gold and silver, and the indices, of course, US 30, Nasdaq, and the S&P, and three major currency pairs. Now, what are the three major currency pairs? I think you guys should know better by now. USD CAD, Euro USD, GBP USD, of course. So these are the pairs we are going to see next week. So, well, the technicals, key levels, and trend buyers are going to come within the week. This is our breakdown that we do. Now, on this call, we look at what we have done the previous week. We look at what is going to come ahead of this week, and the analysis, the key levels, the buyers, and everything. We do it when the day comes. Of course, I cannot tell you that the market is going to go this or it's going to go that right from the weekend. It doesn't work that way. We have to see what the dealers present for us. We have to see what is there on the table for us before before we can decide where we are going. Okay. Now, regarding the news risk, I just explained it, and your position signing is 100% up to you, depending on your capital, depending on your account size, and without zero desperation. That's how we focus on our risk management and position sizing. Okay. Position sizing depends on what you have on inside your accounts or the type of account that you are trading, whether it is a prop firm or it's a personal funding. How many percent are you willing to risk? How many percent are you willing to take as a hit? What are the proper position sizing for you to use? And right, right. So lastly, before we start sharing the markups and going through in depth of what we have done last week, uh, I just finished explaining the risk and position sizing. So regarding the questions and whatever it is that you have, of course, if you not ask it here, if you not get the chance to ask it here, you can drop it as comment. You can also drop it on the community, and we are happy to review and we are happy to answer. All right, good. So, how many of you have taken have taken the opportunity that we have? Give me a moment. Let me start again and reshare again. Okay, okay. This is very, very interesting. So you guys should have a look at here. Let me zoom out from Wednesday. Don't mind this. Don't mind this. Okay. Focus on the setup that we killed on Sunday. I mean, on Wednesday. This was the entry. This was the entry right after this railroad track. Okay. Now, what happened here? Why this setup? Well, uh, you all know Wednesdays, most of the time, if you know about midweek reversals, if you know about reversals and you have study about reversals, you understand that okay, some at some point, at sometimes we trade reversals on Wednesday. Mhm. Okay, and this is the perfect time and perfect behavior for this because we waited for the stop hunt across this zone, which is the previous week high. Okay, this was we have yesterday high sitting right on top of it, but we have weekly previous week high and of course yesterday high. So these are the zones that will mostly look out for reversals and for yes, just the perfect zone for reversals. The week high, week low, or yesterday high, yesterday low, they open, and all those key important zones. So these are where we look at. Okay, so after the red box, after the New York Session red box, we also have another entry right on this zone, which is the 800 800 EMA on the hierarchy on the higher time frame is the trend that is actively going. I don't need to switch into another time frame or to look for any confirmations. But seeing this gives me a lot and in line with this time. So what we traded here to take these sales is the same thing as what we traded here. Look at the huge rejection on this zone, forming a red road track. Okay. Again, this was on Wednesday, but we only traded this. I was looking out for this and only tape it. I did not trade it. Now, on Thursday, on Thursday, this is what we have. I was busy looking for the sales right from beginning of London, mid London, and until late London session before we have the full buyers move. I was waiting on this. I only scratch out on this kind of. My entry was kind of allowed this and this, right on this zone. We have day open. We have the previous week high sitting right on top of there. So I have my first entry here early London with this week's rejection, and at this significant zone to dump it down here is a kind of quick uh, quick short risk, and this is where the remove comes. And unfortunately, I missed it. Then around 4 p.m. West African time, we got this right on top of psychological support and resistance. This is the zone right here. You see it's psychological high. So once I have price trading into this zone at the perfect time, I don't hesitate to pull it out. Okay, I don't hesitate to run a business there. Now, this is a clean business. We have seen the first move on New York open and the reversals on mid New York, and then the real trend ending New York session. So if you can break it down yourself, there is opportunity in almost every session. If you are going to if you are going to categorize or divide the session into three, you will trade it almost every single time, every single day. But the problem is we don't trade every day, but rather I am right in front of the market, analyzing everything and well aware of what is happening and patiently waiting for the zone to come to us. We don't go to them. Okay? This is the biggest reasons. Now, after missing this beauty comes Friday, which is 100% overall trend bias continuation or wrapping up the week. Regardless of what we have done in the week, this is a day where they either resets or they continue towards the direction. So what we have seen here is massive, massive continuation. Okay, because where we start the week is never where we end the week. We started the week around this price level. Look at it here, 4842, and currently sitting on 55144. So that's a huge difference in the week. So this is what we have done. And look at the zone that actually hold it. Look at the behavior on it. Look at the first entry here. No entry here. And last but not the least, we know about this business. If you can take it here to here, I don't want to, on Fridays, I don't want to enter stop on box. I just want to keep it simple. And you have it right here. Okay. Look at it here. This this whole mess was cleared on Friday. There is a they have been arranged for almost 3 to 4 weeks, and on this Friday, making it the week 4 of January, all the zones were cleared, all the consolidations were cleared. Now, what do I anticipate going forward on this? I would love to see a decent pullback at market open before we wait for what the dealers has to offer for us for this week. This is the final call that I am looking at. Okay, this is the final call that I'm looking at on US 30 before we fold our arms and wait for what the dealers have installed for us. Of course, uh, I will have to look at DXY. Okay, DXY. This range is kind of crazy, but we are still looking for more weakness, more weakness, more weakness on this dollar based on the daily time frame. And also on H4, we are looking for one more push towards this zone to take out this high, eh? Or maybe we can probably see it accelerate up to this high before they continue the overall dumping. Okay, of course, dollar is at the verge of dumping and it's going to continue to dump until we have peak formation and says otherwise. Okay, so based on H4, we are looking for a little big retracement to take out this high and then we sell. All right. This is what I'm saying right here. So look at probably H1 give us more clarity. Okay, gives us more clarity on how it is going to happen. This is dollar index, by the way. It controls all the major pairs, and also sometimes, not all times, people think there is a relation between the dollar index and the indices, whereby when dollar is appreciating, the indices are going to depreciate, or when the indices are depreciating, then the dollar is going to appreciate. So not all times this is true. There are certain times that they will be doing the same thing. Dollar is buying, indices is selling, indices is buying, and dollar is also buying. So depending on whatever it is that is happening, you are the filter, and we are here. We are the filter. We are here to help you all filter it out. So Beginning of the week, I want to see appreciation in dollar as our final push, which gives us more reason to look or tape rather trade US 30 sales opening the week. Okay, right. So this is that for dollar index. Then we look at gold. What is gold doing? Of course, we know this is crazy. Looking at gold charts, you know that gold is not here to stop. All right. It is looking for levels where it will just grab liquidity and keep on heading to its direction. Okay. On a serious note, this was what happened last week. Okay. I didn't engage on gold. Why? Because the zone is very, very huge. I don't want to see a very, very huge zone beginning of the week. That's number one. Number two, they are not the ones on spotlights. Okay. Major peers and metals are not on my spotlight until late last week. Then it becomes interesting on only on this buy that we had. Okay, which is why I don't want to say much about it until we see what the dealer has in store for us. So, guys, uh, that is that for today. And for those that are asking about psychology class, it's going to come out, is going to be coming on Saturday because unfortunately within the week I'm truly occupied and I cannot find a suitable time for that. So we'll see on the weekend, maybe on Saturday, then on Sunday we do the reviews. And don't forget, if you have questions, you can still answer. And also you can don't hesitate to share this value that we are doing and every aspect of what we are doing here so that not only you will benefit, some will learn, some will see, some will even add it to their own arsenal. Okay. So, of course, guys, cheers and see you next week. Bye bye.